Mate, let me get myself settled, right? I've been doing a couple things today. Um I woke up late, you know what I'm saying? Like I went to bed late too, so uh I was supposed to get up at a certain time and didn't get up when I was supposed to. Just laid in the bed. And so ever since then I had kind of got behind. I needed to take both my girls uh to to school and didn't want to get up, just tired, right? So, I'm just talking before, some people may want to show up, but nevertheless, I'm gonna get to the question in a minute. But I wanted to kind of talk to you about my day today. Um, it's been a decent day, I would say. Could say solid, solid day. I I took them to school late. Man, and the good thing though is that their schools are right down the street from each other. So I dropped off my youngest, this morning. She was having some trouble wanting to. It's like every morning she wants to just rebel about getting in the car, you know, just to get in the car. What's up, homie? What's up, John? Man, and so that delays us sometimes to get to where we need to go. But that's my fault because I started late anyway, right? And so I drop off the youngest one, and I'm saying to myself, I'm gonna drop off the oldest one, right? But I did not think about. I don't know if y'all have ever had this issue, but I didn't think about my GPS of where I was gonna go. And so when I they literally down the street from each other. So when I literally passed where my oldest daughter was supposed to go. Like I mean, it's not. I mean, I was supposed to turn, but I'm thinking that it's further ahead than it is, and so I'm making a left, you know, um, to try to get to where I need to get to. I'm thinking I'm going the right way. My oldest daughter said that, and once I got on the freeway to go where I'm thinking that her that her school is, she's like, "Dad, are you taking me to school?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "Well, it's back that way." I said, "Oh my gosh, that's crazy." Uh, Matter of fact, I remember that I was paying attention to this really nice BMW that kind of looked like a Ferrari, right? And that was when I was supposed to turn. But I was in so much of an admiration of the car that I didn't even think about, or I didn't even see where she was supposed to be going. But nevertheless, that was part of the day. And so then also I took my sons to the Science and History Museum, simply because I wanted to give them a different experience than just reading the book. And so we went there, and they enjoyed it very much. So, and so I would advise everybody that can to get to a museum instead of just reading the book. Some housekeeping things. I'm working on the Humble Dad not podcast, Humble Dad website. You'll be able to get your gear for those dads that you feel like are humble or at least aspiring to be. Then I have hats as well, whatever the case may be. I have those things on the website. Shout out to Alistair Hunt, who will be working on that for me. Also, I'm looking for, moms and dads that would be interested in dialoguing about fatherhood. And I would be having a panel discussion. And I'm thinking that will happen maybe February or March. And also, I'm working on a workshop. I just got the okay um, to that they'd be willing to host it, at my church. I'll give you more details as it's being put together, and I'm super excited about that. Can you hear it in my voice? Guess not. Like I'm super excited about that. You know, so and then anybody that's interested in the grief journey, it's day to day. Every day is a different day, and the weird thing about it is that I be I feel good. When I feel good, I feel bad for feeling good. I feel bad for feeling good, and then when I feel when I feel bad, I just like, man, I wish I could get to the point of not feeling this way. So it is a fluctuation of emotions on a regular basis, So I appreciate everybody that's been praying for your boy and for my family. Uh, and of course I will always miss her because she was just that dope of a chick. Shout out to Jania Glenn. Um, so yeah, here we go. So the question is, who is better? Who parents better? Who's a better parent? And if you're watching, or I'll be interested in hearing what you have to say. Now, what I did was I asked some people this question, and I already had my answer, but I wanted to hear what other people said. And so last night I was out hanging out with some fellas, and I asked them the question, who parents better? And one guy, it was interesting. He said, well, I would say that uh, I discipline but better, but my wife parents better. And I was asking him to kind of explain that to me. And so he gave me, some things that, such as the wife, what she does, I guess she's more compassionate. She's more compassionate than he is. Then some other people said, well, it's, it could be both. I asked my daughter. She said it depends. You know, and I said, okay, that's some good information. I asked one young lady. She said, mothers, obviously. You know, mothers, obviously. Jamie said, I think it depends on the child and the circumstances. I appreciate you for sharing that with us, Miss Jamie. And so the reason why I wanted to talk about it is because it's very important to me for parents to understand what their kid needs, and oftentimes I would say that parents are not focusing on what the kids needs are. They're focusing on what they want for the kid. And there's wrong. It's not. I wouldn't say there's nothing wrong with that, but kids, there are needs that kids have that are being missed oftentimes, as I've seen and talking to parents and dads in particular. And then being a former teacher for 11 years, I understand that there are some things that are missing from children. So I would say I'm gonna work it like this. Okay, I was looking at some different research or just different questions, and it says there's uh, some advantages, if you would. Let me see if I got it here. I was honestly looking for. I typed in pros of having a mom. Right, I posted. I put that in the search, and there was things like pros and cons of being a mother. So they was coming from the mother's perspective, not the child's perspective. Then it was like 11 positive effects of working moms. Then it was what research says about being a stay-at-home mom. Then 10 pros and cons of being a stay-at-home mom. You know, um, and those were the first search engines that was the first in the search engines that I got. I also posted or typed in, I think it was advantages. Let me see if I can get to it. Advantages of being or having a dad, right? Then it came up, data show benefits of fathers, the health benefits of fatherhood, 20 reasons why children need dads, 5 things you should know about the importance of fathers, the encouraging signs of fatherhood, and the father effect. And so my question would be, why is with here you have that they're showing about fathers, that the advantages of what the kid would get, right? When I researched about advantages of moms, they came from the perspective of what would be important to moms. I'm sure that's just at the top of the search engine. And so this is what I did. I said, okay, then that means that I have to kind of refer back to myself, and then we'll get to some of the scriptures as well. And so what I clicked on was 20 reasons why children need dads. And this is from Parent for Success website. Okay, and they listed number one for fun, two for balance, 3, to understand men. 4, for behavior. 5, I'll just read them in order: for their education, for friendships, because children who have an involved dad are more likely to grow up with better social skills. Okay, for their mental health. That's interesting, that for that friendship thing, because a lot of people are against homeschool because they say that kids will not be socialized well. But according to Parent for Success, if they have a good relationship with their dad, then they'll have good social skills. For their mental health, for their self-esteem, for confidence and strength, for their future relationships with partners, for their best chance of stable relationships, for understanding the role of a dad, for security, for choosing the right path, for the ability to persevere, for competitiveness, for wisdom, for their future career, for respect of authority, for happiness. It says on that one, having a loving dad around is an important predictor of a child's future well-being, happiness, and life satisfaction. That's interesting. So this is just one particular article that I was able to read, and of what you would see that the children would get. And it's interesting that I didn't or could not find, and if you can find something that would allow me to see what a woman, the reasons for why children need a mom. I guess they want us to already know uh, that answer. But I would say the children need their mother for nurturing. I don't think I have a list of 20, but I have a couple. For nurturing. Why? Because dads are dads are not that. You know what I'm saying? We like the tough guy, whatever. But you have the nurturing mother that is able to speak in a softer tone, to be able to read the emotion of the child, right? And to be able to, based on them being able to read the emotions of the child, be able to respond to the child based on what that child is needing in that particular moment. I'm not speaking all, but I'm speaking in general terms, right? And so, with that being said, you know, um, I would say that also to I would say to that is that the mother being nurturing allows the kid to see and feel what love is, from their mother, right? And another part is the compassion. The compassion that moms give is is one in which it's similar to, if not, I want to say it's the same because God has it more than anybody. But I would say compassion would be to the point that the kids understand that there's not necessarily a gavel coming down on them all the time, and that's sometimes what dads could be, right? Because we are the protector, we're also the authoritative person, and we could come down on some of our kids pretty strongly at times, and and even still, when I remember when I didn't necessarily come down hard on them, but because I have bass in my voice, then they would say that I was yelling at them, right? And moms have that soft voice, and can speak softly to their kids. Not all the time, but that's the case, and they hear it differently. Even though, like for us, Jen has a softer voice than I did so than I do, and so the kids would automatically think I'm yelling, but they wouldn't think that she yelling when she yelled more than I did, right? Um, so you have that, and then if you have some in the comments, please let me know. What are some advantages of moms? Like what do the kid need from the mom? Right? I got nurturing, I got compassion. You know, they like that, which is that unconditional love as well, right? And I'm curious to wonder, why is there not more information through the internet for that? So if you had to ask me, which is what you're doing, okay, I would say, all right, okay, cool, I found one, okay, and I'll come back to it. You see, um, that intense moment. All right, it says this is from lifehack.org. It says 20 reasons your mom will always have a special place in your heart. Okay, this is as close as I can get. She gave you life. She'll hold you any time of the day or night when you needed her. When you were vulnerable as a baby, she was your protector. Okay. She offers you much security as possible. It sounds kind of like the same. She's selfless. If you need something, your mom will go without to give it to you. Okay. That could be mom or dad, but we're talking about moms. This is what this article is saying. She loves you even when you don't love yourself in the adolescence years. Yeah, I would say that's not necessarily a thing that just moms do, but okay, we'll go with that. She listens to you when you need someone to talk to. So as you can see, these things are not just they're speaking as if this comes only from the mom, or in my estimation. It says her tough love is only to make you better. She passed her life wisdom on to you. She nags you for all the right reasons, like taking an umbrella or wearing a warm jacket. She will always have your back, even when you're wrong. She's okay. She supports all your ideas and endeavors. She lifts you up when you've been defeated and takes the time to build you back up. She loves you. She has loved you even through the hardest times. She made it possible for you to experience many things in your life, even if that meant her taking on an extra job. Sounds like they're talking about single moms. She watched you in competition and cheered you on, even if it meant waking up at the crack of dawn or standing on the sidelines in the rain. She is proud of your successes. She's your friend even when you're an adult. She will love you until the end of time with a fierce devotion that is unmatched. She is irreplaceable in your life and offers a kind of comfort and warmth in your heart that can never be taken away. Right? I wonder, do y'all agree with those things? Jamie, you say this. Okay. All right. She says, that is me. I'm our house. I feel like I'm really hard on my boys sometimes. Cody is much more relaxed than me. I get way more excited than Cody, which means I also bring the fun. Cody and I are both very affectionate, though. My boys talk to me about everything, and I'm grateful they trust me to have all types of discussions, for sure. And so, to answer your question, my question to you, who's better at parenting? I would say that they are equally better. What I mean by that is a child needs their mom and their dad to intermingle, to be able to hold conversations together, to be able to, if there is an argument, to understand how the person is arguing, what is being said, how is it being said, how can this be something that this is a learning experience for them, seeing the mom and the dad respond to one another, right? A dad is able to show, as Miss Kenya, I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong, says, and hello, how's it going? A mother is the first feminine space a son has to demonstrate how he would treat a lady. Okay. Okay. I would say, I understand what you're saying, but I would disagree in this respect. A son knows how to treat his mother better, or knows how to treat a lady based on how the dad treats her. And if the woman, and then or whatever man has come into the woman's life, if she allows that man to treat her bad, then the son sees that as acceptable. If the son sees that woman, I'm sorry, his mother treated well by that man, he sees how the man how a man should treat a woman. So single mothers raising sons, I would say, struggle with that, because the son is struggle, meaning it if the single mother is not valuing who comes in and out of her house, then that son is going to see that, as well as the daughter. That's why it is important for there to be a marriage that is together, preferably before you have kids, because that is the structure that works the best, whether you are um, living the Bible or not. The studies are hands down saying that is the best way to raise kids, is to have the mother and the father in the household, and each of them are being themselves. You have the masculine and you have the you have the woman being in her feminine energy, if you will. Okay. And so the kids are able to see both in that context. And so there is, neither one of them is better. One of them is probably better at one of the things than the other. So case in point, for me, Jen was better at teaching the kids than I am for sure, even though I'm an educator. She would hug them in the middle of anything. She would talk to them, counsel them. She would play video games with them, which I didn't do that. I didn't play video games with them, and that's the one thing that they loved very much. Also, she cooked. She was a very good cook. She would try to make every uh, what event, holiday, special for them. The one thing that, matter of fact, the one thing that was really major was that on birthdays you got to have breakfast in bed. Okay, well, last year I can't remember. Oh, and a gift, breakfast in bed and a gift. Okay, and so last year I said, we're not gonna do a gift, but we'll do something else. Or I can't remember what it was, but I think that Gianna did not get breakfast in bed, or she didn't. She got breakfast in bed, but she didn't get a gift because we was gonna get a different gift at another time. Well, Gianna was very upset that she didn't wake up and then have a gift because that was the norm. And Jen told me before she said, Elijah, that's not gonna be okay. I'm telling you, it's not gonna be okay. And I said, but I don't think I think I'm right. Well, it turns out I was wrong. Mom was able to read her emotional temperature, or not even emotional temperature. She was just so connected in that regard of knowing that this has been such a thing that we've done, and they look forward to it. And so, since they look forward to it, it's not something that we should take away. And so, what I end up doing is going out and getting her a gift later that day because I seen that I was wrong, and then I apologized to her. Right. So that's an example of where Jen was better than I was. Right. But for me, where I was better than her at was disciplining the kids. I was pretty consistent in the discipline. Now she did discipline them, uh, but not as consistent as I did. And even though I wasn't in the house as much as she was. Right. So we was the yin and yang. We were able to coexist, if you will, together, and we made the experience for our kids a great one. And my prayer is that they never forget the relationship that mom and dad had as they move through life, and they won't, marriage won't be on the table until 8 to 10 years from now when they would not have their mom in their life. But I pray that they will remember the relationship that I had, with their mom. And so who's better? Neither is the answer. Neither is better. They're both equally important to one another. There was an article. Let's see. There's an article that I wanted to read. It says it's a couple things. It says is this data shown benefits of fathers? This is what it says. But then that's the name of the article by Father John Flynn. And so he goes on to talk about the benefits of the father. Then it talks about effects on children. It was a study from Journal of Marriage and Family from 1977 to 2002 related to how family structure affects children. Overall, we found strong evidence that scholars have become more concerned about the effects of family change on children, they concluded. As the years have gone by, scholars have become more aware of the possible negative effects of divorce and unwed childbearing on children, the study observed. This was particularly the case, the authors noticed, when the studies were empirical. Okay, meaning that somebody went to go study them to make sure that the sources was accurate. They did I guess, what is it called? They did some surveys, and they did some random surveys, and then they had somebody actually certify that, as opposed to an opinion style article. Okay, so these studies were empirical, meaning that they was backed up factually, right? As opposed to what people in the atmosphere would just say, this is what I think, this is what I feel, right? So it's facts over feelings. Glenn and Sylvester also confirmed there now is widespread agreement that there have been negative effects from recent family changes that are strong enough and pervasive enough to be important. So this article is saying that, listen, if you're saying that you want to affect change in your society, it starts with who is going to be the future, and that is your children. That is our children. And when you see what you're seeing right now is that there are parents, there are men and women having kids that are parents, not being married and not having a cohesive unit. They'll live together, but they won't get married. That is a study show that is a detriment to that child. Okay, because that means that there's no commitment. That means that also that the parenting style is going to be there's no leader really. It's not a leader if there's not a marriage, right? Because both of them are not coming together to make something that makes sense. Okay, so with that being said, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. That man and woman, y'all need to be together, have this kid, and y'all need to raise this kid to in the best way possible. Look at what it is that they need. It's not about you, especially once you have a kid. It's about them. How does it? What benefits them? What am I doing to make sure that they are successful? And that's one of the things that I'm trying to do now with Jen being gone. How can I still instill in them the principles that they need to make sure that they move forward in the position of how will they have a healthy marriage, considering currently I'm single, right? And this I don't want to forget about this. These are some of the scriptures from the word, right? That could help us. It says in I was trying to find. I think it was in. I'll go with this. This is the one I liked. Well, I like all of them, but this is the one that stood out to me. This is from pushpay.com. Bible verses this is about fathers. It says, fathers encourage, for this is 1 Thessalonians 2:11-12. For you know that we dealt with each of you as a father deals with his own children. What is that, right? Encouraging, comforting, and urging you to live lives worthy of God, who calls you into his kingdom and glory, right? So that's what fathers should be doing, right? As well as mothers should be doing, but that was specifically to the fathers. All right. And then it goes on in Joshua 24:15. As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. This is something that is important as well. The Lord carried you as a father carries his son. That's Deuteronomy 1:29-31. And then there was let's see, where was it? This is important, dads, right here. Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Honor your father and mother, which is the first commandment with a promise, so that it may go well with you and that you may enjoy a long life on earth. Fathers, do not exasperate your children, right? Don't exasperate your children. Instead, bring them up in the training and instruction of the Lord. Okay. And then for the mothers, it says that the word mother is found 337 times in the Old and New Testament. That's from connectusfund.org. And there was this part in Isaiah 66:13. It says, as one whom his mother comforts, so I will comfort you. You shall be comforted in Jerusalem. And then there was another one. It says, older women as mothers, younger women as sisters. It's all no, that's not the one I wanted to read. Let's see. Why can I not find it? I think I put it over here. Oh, this was the one to connect moms and dads. My son, keep your father's commandment and forsake not your mother's teaching. So here you have that the father has communicated in the household what the rules are. And then the mother is going to be doing some teaching of life or whatever, and also upholding those commandments within the household. And so they all work together for the better of the child. Please consider the child, okay? Consider the child whenever you are looking to have a kid. Think about who it is that you're laying down with. Is this someone that you think is this your husband? Is this your wife? Is it somebody you think that you want to be your wife or your husband? Because I know things happen. Until next time, Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe to the channel, and all that jazz. And until next time, we out here. Deuces.